are back to our power rankings. This week we are starting, what is this, week 15? We're about to enter week 15 of the NFL season. Things are wrapping up. This is ridiculous. I hate this. This is the worst part of the year because imminent danger, everything's going to stop, and football's gone. It sucks. But hey, on the bright side, some very meaningful games will happen, which means probably better football across the board. But before we get into these power rankings, let me remind you, check out DUBBBY.GG. Right behind me, you see these wonderful DUBBBY flavors. We got our mystery flavor, our fruit punch, our green apple, our blue raspberry. They're great. My favorite, the blue raspberry, but I'm really digging that green apple right now. I'm not a big green apple fan, but they're great. Also, check out my personal store down in the description below. It's linked. It's the fourth wall link. A bunch of new t-shirts just dropped. Got a new one for George Pickens, some Sonic and Knuckles stuff for the duo in Detroit. Some cool shirts. Go check it out at their website down in the link below for both DUBBBY and my personal website. And DUBBBY, you got a code, Shredder, SHRD3R, 10% off anything on their website. Let's go check it out and let's get right into this video. Let's get rolling with these power rankings. Right below me, you see what we had last week, what our power rankings were prior to this week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. I do these every 2 weeks, not every single week. But either way, 31 and 32. We're going to do them one time because this is the same two teams. They just flip spots. Giants at 31, Raiders at 32. Raiders, they're in the pits of football. Yeah, they're in the down low. They're in everything they can be bad. I mean, not only have they had a terrible season, they're a bad roster. Their, coach stinks. Now they're playing Desmond Ridder. So, yeah, a lot of love lost over there. And for the Raiders, the Giants, they are just, they're the Giants. And they're being the Giants, and they're not the Raiders. That's why they're not 32. That's pretty much the reason. Congratulations, Raiders. You've pretty much locked yourself in to the #1 pick of the draft. You're just going to mess it up on Shadur Sanders. So, anyways, we'll talk about that later. That's a whole nother conversation. Moving on to number 30. We have, where are they at? The Tennessee Titans. They are not good. They're not good at football. They're probably going to have to find a lot of new things, players, maybe coaches, maybe quarterbacks, maybe a lot of different things. They're not in a good spot right now. This team needs an overhaul across the board. Their new coach, Brian Callahan, has not shown much. Offense hasn't been good. That was supposed to be his thing. Maybe it's Will Levis's fault. Maybe it's not. I don't know. They're 30. Number 29, the Cleveland Browns. They stink. But they are down 1 this week. Titans are a big follower. They're down 6. But, I mean, the Browns, they're the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. And that's all you have to say. They're pretty much always a bottom 4 team in the league or so. They're just not a good franchise. And, bad franchises remain bad franchises until they're not bad franchises, which usually means they have to sell the franchise, get completely new ownership, establish a culture from the top down. Lots of things go into that. But, yeah, the Browns, they don't look like they're a good franchise at all. They never really have. Then the New England Patriots, they've got some things working, okay? However, their roster is absolutely garbage. Drake May looks really good. They're supposedly going to offer the moon to T. Higgins. I'm not really sure what T. Higgins is supposed to do with the moon, but that's going to be a good contract negotiation tactic, I suppose. Out here looking like Gru or something. But no, the Patriots, their roster's bad, but Drake May looks legit. Drake May, honestly, in comparison to what they have, Drake May looks like probably the best quarterback of this draft class in terms of the sample size. And like I said, looking at what the guys have, he probably has the worst line and the worst receivers, and he's doing way, more consistently good than Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, honestly. Maybe even Bo Nix. It's just, he has nothing to work with, so you have to also remove that from the equation. It's a very difficult process, but either way. The Jaguars, they land at, 27? Yeah, they're not very good. They do win games with Mac Jones, apparently. Trevor Lawrence is hurt. Okay, congratulations. Mac Jones is good at football, I guess. Not really, but he's better than Jameis, Will Levis. I wouldn't say Drake May. There's a whole different kind of storyline for that. Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock, whoever. Desmond Ridder. Yeah, he's better than them. So we'll give him the credit where credit's due. And then, number 26, the New York Jets. I'm really glad they played a good game against the Dolphins. I'm really glad that they looked like a competent football team versus the Dolphins. They went to overtime, I think, versus the Dolphins. And you know what? Divisional game, anything can happen. But honestly, let's be real. As NFL fans, we should be rooting for Aaron Rodgers just to be good at football, because football is simply better when good quarterbacks are playing good. And Aaron Rodgers, he is a historically good quarterback. He is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Football's better when they play good. So let's root for him at least for that much, I guess. At number 25, the Dallas Cowboys. You know, their season is effectively over. Their special teams just botched everything yesterday versus the Bengals. Micah Parsons is mad. Dak Prescott sucks. Cooper Rush is not really that much worse than him, honestly. CeeDee Lamb's hurt. There's nothing to be happy for here. There's nothing to smile about in their life, pretty much is what you kind of have to say. Either way, moving on from them, where are they at? The Atlanta Falcons. They are our biggest faller of the week, down 12 spots, a whopping 12. This comes off of a 4-game losing streak, and the only reason they are above the Cowboys is because they have a much better chance mathematically to make the playoffs simply because their division is terrible. The Cowboys, they're not eliminated, but they might as well be. Like, there's no chance they're winning much of anything the rest of the season. The Falcons, they're 6-7. They're not 5-8. They're 6-7. And guess what? Their division leading team is like 8-5. They're not that far away. Like, it can happen. Yeah. Am I happy about it? No. Kirk Cousins looks terrible. Is it Michael Penix time? No, it's probably not. Honestly, let Kirk Cousins ride it out this year at least. You can't bench a guy like that after you just paid him. But, yeah, no. Let him play it out. Make him battle next year. Make it either light a fire under Kirk Cousins or, I guess, give Penix a try. But, no, this year ain't it. The Carolina Panthers, somehow they end up above division rival Atlanta Falcons. It's because Bryce Young looks like he is back. He is good at football again, and the Panthers, well, they look competent. Jonathan Brooks goes down with another injury. It's honestly incredibly just demoralizing for him as fans. Looking at it, the whole situation, it really just sucks for him. Not able to play in the most important college games of his entire career with Texas last year. Now, when the season winds down and they're picking up steam, a rookie who, didn't get to play the entire first half of the season, finally gets a chance, and he crumbles too. It sucks. This guy, he may just not be made for it, man. It may just not be in his cards, but we'll see. New Orleans Saints, 3 straight NFC South teams. They're down this low because Derek Carr is hurt and out for the season, probably more than likely. Sucks, man. He broke his hand or something. I didn't see it, but I'm not watching the Giants versus Saints game. Absolutely not. Sorry, bud. But no, it sucks. It really does. They had a chance to maybe do something. I don't think they really have any chance at this point with the situation surrounding Derek Carr. He's really their only chance of winning, to be completely honest. So, yeah, moving on from that is going to be difficult. And the Colts, they're staying the same this week. Panthers up 3, Saints up 1, Colts staying the same. Colts are the Colts. They were on a bye, I'm pretty sure, this week. They've got a lot to prove at the end of this season. It's mostly just like, hey, can y'all be good at football for a period of time? Because we haven't seen even that this year. So, show us what you got, Indianapolis. Love to see it. Entering our top 20 teams of the week. Number 20, the Bears. They don't look great. There's things. There are things. Caleb Williams shows flashes. He's obviously an incredible talent. You can't deny that much. But we've got to see more consistency from him. You've got Keenan Allen. You've got DJ Moore. You've got Roma Dunze. What are we missing? Is it the offensive coordinator? Is it Caleb Williams? Is it the receivers? Is it, just a mix of terribleness and the fact that it's in Chicago? Maybe. I don't know. Get on the right page. Their defense doesn't even look very good. Flus has got to be fired. Was he already fired? He was already fired. Thomas Brown is now the interacting head coach. Yeah, I'm on. I don't know. Either way, Niners, they're next. They, they're fine. They're okay. They got a uphill battle to make the playoffs, but they're kind of in that Falcon situation where they can do it. They've got to rattle off some wins, but they can absolutely do it. Deebo Samuel got roasted by a community note on Twitter or X or whatever. Yeah, pretty hilarious. He said that he isn't struggling. He just has to get the ball. He actually has a bunch of drops, so he is in fact struggling. I don't know. This guy just figure out the Niners. They're kind of in a bad year. I doubt if they make it, they're the 7th seed, and they'll probably get beat pretty early. The Commanders, they fall pretty far. They're down 3 this week. Niners up 3. Bears -2. But the Commanders, they were off a bye this week, but this season has progressed, and they are slowly getting slower. They're really not playing great football anymore. It's just not convincing. Honestly, I was never convinced to begin with. They are a middling team. That's pretty much how you can describe them this season. The Bengals, they're up 2 this week. Only 2 because their record is still pretty bad. They have a massive uphill battle to make the playoffs. They are only 5-8, I believe, now, and that's after a win. Not in a good spot, definitely. They pretty much have to win out. There's really no other option. Be 9-8. Hope the Broncos lose. They do have the Broncos on their schedule, so that could help out. But you've got a lot to ask for here, Cincinnati. I mean, you've just picked it up at the wrong time. The offense has been flying for the most part of the season. The defense, not so much. Cardinals, they're down pretty far. They're down 5 this week. Rough week for the Cardinals. Once again, lost to Seattle. You know what, Seattle? You've proven yourself to me a little bit. I've not given them the flowers all year. And, you know, they're finally starting to deserve them now. They're taking advantage of the situation they're in. They're beating their division rivals. All right, I got you. I understand. Are you a full-on contender? I would decline to agree with that, but are you at least a legit option for the playoffs? Sure, I'll give you that much. Number 15, let's go right on through. After the Cardinals, we got the Miami Dolphins. Hey, they were rattling off some wins. They had a close game against the Jets. They actually used Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, for a matter of fact. Are the Dolphins back? Probably not, but it's okay to think about that. They're still only up 1. We got to see a lot more from them. But hey, they're in the right spot. The Rams, they come in at 14. Huge win over the Bills this week. They kept up Puka Nacua. Is he the best receiver in football? I don't know. Probably not, but hey, there's a question. Some of those things he did in that game, first receiver in history to have like 150 yards, 12 catches, and a rush and through the air touchdown. Rushing receiving. That's crazy. Definitely a great season he's having. Up to, well, now. He wasn't really so amazing at first. He was hurt. But either way, this team is going to be scary. This is a scary, scary, scary team. With the experience they have, with the depth they have in a lot of positions, don't let them get into the playoffs, man. That Detroit, y'all should be like key number 1 worry, because Matthew Stafford, Detroit, yeah, there's a whole lot to talk about there. Broncos, they are sitting in the same spot this week. They were on bye. They're the Broncos. Let's chill on the hype with Bo Nix. Like, he's playing really well. Don't get me wrong. He probably deserves Rookie of the Year at this point, considering the fact that Brock Bowers isn't going to get it because he's a tight end and not a quarterback. Yes, he's playing good. Does that mean he's the greatest quarterback to ever exist? No, let's please chill out. He is Bo Nix, after all. Just Bo Nix, not, Caleb Williams. There is a difference, I promise. Even if Caleb Williams isn't playing as good as Bo Nix, the prospect that there is much better with Caleb Williams. If you don't understand that, well, ask your mom or something. I don't know. Moving on, the Seahawks, they are up a good amount this week. I'm giving them their flowers, as I said. +5. That puts them at 12. They're in a good spot. They just got to prove themselves amongst teams that are, actually legit. They've had a struggle this year playing better teams, and, they beat a lot of mediocre teams and bad teams. But, hey, enough with that. They've played good football. Jackson Smith-Njigba's playing super good football. He's replaced Tyler Lockett almost completely. DK Metcalf, still a little unsure on him. Leonard Williams scoring fat boy touchdowns. It's awesome. They're in a good spot. Texans, they fall at number 11. Texans are cool, but very, very, kind of like the Commanders, just very untrustworthy football being played. That's all I can say for them. Now, our top 10 of this week. Week 15 power rankings. Here we go. Number 10, the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they're getting healthy. Mike Evans, he's a good football player. Baker Mayfield, he's showing he is legit. He's worth the money they paid him. Can they put that together, make a run? I think so. I think they will. I think they'll handle business. Baker Mayfield is a scary guy. Them, the Rams, scary teams for Detroit, for Philadelphia. He is the only guy, the only quarterback this year to beat Detroit is Baker Mayfield. Watch out. Then, the Green Bay Packers, a tough loss this week to the Detroit Lions. But hey, they showed they can compete. They are up there. They are, they are around that ballpark of good teams. Can Jordan Love protect the ball? Yet to be seen. Let's see it happen. Come on, Jordan Love. Chargers, they're at number 8. Chargers up 1 this week, even though they lost. That's a good sign for them. They competed with Kansas City, and they should have won that game. There was a lot of holding calls that were not called on that final Chiefs drive. And, how many kids have to be sacrificed for the Chiefs to win a game? I don't know. The world may never know, but their magic is going to continue on as long as they get the right to do whatever they're doing underneath that stadium. That's for sure. Moving on. Number, 7? 7. The Ravens. They were on bye this week, but they're 8-5. They're falling behind. They're not amazing. We got to see a little more from them. Yeah, that's enough. I won't go any farther. The Steelers, they're number 6. So the Steelers, good win against the Browns this week. Bad win against the Browns a couple weeks ago. Or bad loss, excuse me. Good win against the Bengals. They showed against the Bengals they can compete. That is the scariest part about this Pittsburgh team at this point. They showed against Cincinnati that they can throw up 40 points if they need to. They did. What are you going to do? Against probably the most potent offense in the league, too. As bad as the Bengals have been this year, their offense has been incredible. Yeah, I'd be worried about them if I was, Kansas City, if I was Buffalo. Steelers are legit. They look absolutely legit. That defense is not to be messed with. Kansas City falls in at number 5. How did they go down 1 and the Chargers go up 1 when the Kansas City Chiefs won the game? Well, sweetie, that's because they don't look that great. they are almost losing to the Chargers, a team they generally beat. They are almost losing to, this team and that team, the Panthers. And no, this is not great. They have not looked amazing. You can't deny that. Are they winning games? Absolutely. They're top 5 for that reason. But man, come time for the playoffs, it's going to be hard to really hold on to teams that are, as powerful offensively as Pittsburgh, as Buffalo. Pittsburgh and Kansas City matchup on Christmas Day, waiting to see that one happen. Then, the Bills, they're number 4. Bad loss to the Rams this week. It really highlighted the difficulties their defense is. However, they have the MVP at quarterback this season, more than likely, and deservedly so. They look legit offensively. That defense has to hold up. However, the Rams, I will say, they are a very potent offense. 2 good RBs, 2 good wide receivers, a great veteran quarterback. That's a good team. Don't get me wrong. Their defense didn't really do a whole lot, but their offense was killer. They're talking about the Rams. Just like, the Buffalo Bills. Their defense didn't do a whole lot, but their offense held up. Josh Allen, can he power through? I think so, but they're down, 2 spots because of that. The Vikings, they're up 2 spots. Is Sam Darnold actually him? I don't know. I'm not talking about that. Good Lord. He's good at football, though. And first, it was a historic game they just showed out against Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins, their former team quarterback. But Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson both had 2 touchdowns at 150 yards. That's the first time that's ever happened. That's crazy. Sam Darnold is wheeling and dealing, that's for sure. Philly comes in at 2. They look really good. They're up 1 spot this week. They look really good, man. Philly's going to be dangerous. I really hope them and Detroit get to play in the NFC Championship game. Detroit, they're still atop. They're winning. They're winning ball games. They're staying on top of the conference. They've looked like the most dominant team all year. They are starting to a little bit look shaky. A rough game the last couple weeks against the Bears, against Packers, but division games, those 2 can always go either way. We talk about this just about every video. Division games are, a question mark. That's why Pittsburgh loses to Cleveland. That's why Kansas City loses to Denver last year, to Russ. Different things like that. Division games are just different. You can't really quantify them the same way as other games. Detroit's still on top. Let me know what you think about these power rankings. Let me know, where you would change things, what you would make different. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all in the next video.